Hello and welcome to Delicious by Debbie, and I thought today I would show you how I make my meatloaf. Simple meal, but that's what we're fixing for dinner this evening, so I thought I would let you be here with me and let you watch me make it. I have 2 pounds of ground beef that are in here. I think I told you before that I buy my ground beef from Sam's Club, and they come in 1 pound squares. I bring them home and freeze some, and some of it I cook up immediately. And I'm gonna use my mixer. I don't mix mine up by hand. I'm putting this beater bar in. I have arthritis in my hands, and I don't like to mix it up. It's so cold on my hands, so I use my mixer. So we'll go ahead and get started. And in here with the ground beef, I am going to put, first of all, 2 eggs, and I already have them in the bowl, so we'll put 2 eggs in there. I'm going to use some of my minced garlic, and I'm going to put a tablespoon of that minced garlic. I'm going to put a tablespoon of my minced dried onions. I use a lot of seasonings in mine. I like a nice well-seasoned meatloaf. I am going to put about 1/2 teaspoon of Italian seasoning in. Just plain old Italian seasoning. 1/2 teaspoon. And let's put a teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon of pepper, I also like to put some of my Herbs de Provence, so I'll put 1/2 teaspoon of Herbs de Provence in. That's just a mixture of herbs, just has a nice flavor. Now, I've seen lots of different recipes. I haven't had a recipe for mine for years. I had to actually work with it to come up with a recipe. I've always just kind of mixed and dumped stuff in. So this is an actual recipe that I wrote down. So I also put a tablespoon of prepared mustard. And I put about 1/4 cup of ketchup. All right, 1/4 cup of ketchup. And I also put 1/4 cup of a fat-free Italian. Shake it up good and put 1/4 cup of that in it. That helps hold the meatloaves together. All right. And the very last thing that we're going to add is some breadcrumbs. And again, I have the Italian style breadcrumbs. That's what I'm going to use. And I'm going to put 1 cup of breadcrumbs in. All right, and I'm going to mix that up with that paddle and get these mixed up so we can make our meatloaf. forgot to raise my now we're in business. There we go. And that's all the mixing it needs. It's all mixed up and ready to go. It's the perfect consistency to mix this all together. And you'll see I have gloves on. With all those spices in there, I really don't need all those smells and everything on my hands. Clean this up just a little bit here. And I have my dish, and I'm going to show you how I do this. I have a rack in here. I don't like them to sit right on the bottom. The bottom of them can get awfully hard sometimes while they're cooking and get dry. So I put them on a rack, and then I will put a little bit of water in the bottom of this and put them in the oven that way. I don't make just one big meatloaf. I make little individual meatloaves, as you'll see. And that's just the way we like them. And so I take some of the meatloaf mixture, and I form it into a ball and then just shape it into a little loaf. About like that. Since it's just the two of us to eat these, I'll have some left over that I will freeze. I won't try to bake all of these tonight. So just making it into little meatloaves. Put them on that rack. All right, had to get my oven turned on. Forgot to turn my oven on, so there's another one. And I think I'll just bake 4 of them because there's just the 2 of us, and if we have it left over, we enjoy having them left over. And the rest of that I will make into meatballs, and or meatloaves, little meatloaves, and we will put them in the freezer, and I will let them freeze, and then I'll take them off of the tray and put them into a Ziploc bag so that they're not taking up as much space in the freezer, and they keep better that way. So these are all ready to go in the oven, except that I like to put a little, take my gloves off here, I like to put a little barbecue sauce on the top of them. So I'm going to put some barbecue sauce, just squirt it on the top of them. Some of this will drool down. That's another reason I put water in the bottom of this dish when I bake them, is because it will drool, and I don't want it to stick hard on the pan. All right, those are ready to go in the oven. My oven's not quite heated up yet. I'm going to put some water in here. I don't want the bottom of them sitting in water, but I do want water on the bottom to catch any of the drippings, and then they don't burn onto my pan. So I'll come back and show you when they're finished. I just wanted to get back on here and show you our finished little miniature meatloaves. Hope you'll try them sometime.